my humble apartment in Chicago, Illinois, with the wrestling news of the day, your comments on screen, and so much more. Let's get into it. If you're with us on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're with us on the podcast side of things, thank you so much. Thank you so much for enjoying the show, supporting what we're doing, and all that good stuff. Hopefully this is something fun for you to hear from wrapping presents and all that good stuff. Let's get into the news of the day. The Slammies were this morning on the WWE Network on their free tier. You can watch it right now. Haven't been able to watch the whole thing, but a very, very funny presentation with R-Truth as the host and a limo. He doesn't actually get to go to a fancy award-style show and get out of the limo, and there's red carpet. No, it's a parking lot, and it's the WWE warehouse, and he gets to be by the trophies and everything. It was very 2020. Very funny opening as well. A rapping intro that kind of touched on different superstars that made their mark this year with Wrestle and Flow. If you've seen his content, it's very, very good. He's worked with WWE for quite some time. I enjoyed that as well. His buddy from the Bump on there as well. Fun stuff. I haven't been able to watch the whole award show, but we do have the complete list of nominees. You can check out the award show as well. It's up now on the free tier of the WWE. So you can also check it up on it's on their socials. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitch. All that good stuff. Let's get to the list of nominees. We won't do them all. We have the complete list at WrestleZone.com. But let's get into the big noteworthy awards and noteworthy awards that fans voted on. Who is the superstar of the year? Now, this is odd. It kind of breaks down like the Grammys. Grammys sometimes have too many awards. They have multiple awards so they can make sure they give big stars their awards. So it isn't just like all the big stars competing for one award, as fans sometimes might like it. So they had a male superstar, a female superstar, and then a superstar of the year. Superstar of the year goes to the reigning WWE champion, a guy who certainly had a very, very hard year, Drew McIntyre. What do you think of that? If you like that, hit the like button. What do you think of that? I think Drew has had a year that is admirable, considering everything that goes on without fans present. He's been able to have a very, very special year as champion for a majority of it. So what do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comments below. If you're watching on demand, jump in there as well. I'll be in these comments after we do the show as well. Match of the year. Now, this one was quite debated. Multiple nominees were present for this. Edge versus Orton in their Backlash match. Several Hell in a Cell matches were on this list, but the Boneyard match with The Undertaker. And what is they're saying is his final match? Boneyard match. Undertaker successful over AJ Styles. Certainly interesting that they went in that direction. And Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre from Survivor Series was also on the list. So Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles from SmackDown earlier this year in the Intercontinental Final. I was kind of hoping for that one, but I knew it was going to go to the Boneyard match. Not to say it was a favorite, but it was definitely the most talked about match of the year. Tag Team of the Year goes to the reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits. They have smelled the smoke, breathed in the smoke, and the smoke has confirmed that they are the Tag Team of the Year. They beat out the Golden Role Models of Sasha and Bayley, along with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. The New Day, Street Profits, top Tag Team of the Year. Moment of the Year. This went to The Undertaker. His final farewell at Survivor Series. This is the one that people were kind of annoyed by. I know other people felt that Edge's return at the Royal Rumble should have gotten it. Drew McIntyre defeating Brock Lesnar, Becky announcing her pregnancy on Raw, Roman Reigns tying up with Paul Heyman, but certainly Undertaker was going to win one of these awards. Other noteworthy awards here. Referee of the Year. Some little tiny ones here that they snuck in. I didn't know this. Referee of the Year goes to Charles Robinson. Good for you, Little Nate. Double Cross of the Year is Bayley attacking Sasha Banks. Celebrity of the Year is Rob Gronkowski. Okay. WWE Network Documentary of the Year, The Last Ride. Yeah, I agree with that. Trash Talker of the Year. They had one for the men, one for the women. Hurt Business got the men's ones. Lacey got the other one. Social Media Superstar of the Year. Well, everyone has to get an award. It was Bayley. Nominees for the Breakout Star of the Year. This is an award I've noticed before in the Slammies. Dominic Mysterio, Bianca Belair, Murphy, Otis, and the Street Profits. Street Profits won again. Street Profits becoming quite the act. They're doing Skittles commercials. Got a lot of young fans. I was thinking that Dominic Mysterio was going to win that award, so I was surprised that he didn't. Best Female Superstar of the Year presented by Trish Stratus. Sasha Banks is your winner. She had quite the year. Mandalorian went in Disney Plus, one of the biggest TV shows in the world. She is a featured player in it, so that's a big deal for her. And I don't deny this. I mean, Becky Lynch was off the shelf a majority of the year, guys, and Becky Lynch would have had a big year, but she wanted to be a mom. Nothing wrong with that. Return of the year, I guess. This went to Edge. This was expected. This went to Edge. Ring gear of the year went to the New Day for their Gears of War stuff they wore. The winner of the male superstar of the year went to Drew McIntyre. So he won the male and he won the all-around superstar award. And certainly you can see the full list. It's up now at WrestleZone.com. What do you think of the Slammies? I had to watch a good chunk of it this morning. I didn't get to see all of it, but we actually have the full results up there. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with most of the picks. Now, some of the award setup is odd. Male superstar of the year, female superstar of the year, then superstar of the year, but it just certainly shows that fan voting was followed here. I can see some fans saying, yeah, I may like this superstar, but I definitely think this guy had the year. Drew McIntyre had the year that you could have in 2020. He had a pretty strong year. He was part of some of the better matches of the year, some of the better TV, even though he's on Monday Night Raw, and people hate Monday Night Raw. A lot of fans angry with Monday Night Raw. I didn't think it was that bad this week. And he had some of the better matches on Monday Night Raw this year, too. Better angles as well. Of course, always with us on the show, big fan of the show, James Espanto Fernando Taguay. Says Belair, Montez Ford are talented superstars. Yes, they are aligned. He's asking me, why do people always call me during the show? Oh, I don't need to talk to you. People asking, when are we going to have WrestleZone Awards? We're talking about doing Best of the Business. That's usually our award show. And we do that outside of the calendar year. Usually we do that in early 2021. So look forward to that from us. So we don't want to be on top of the Slammies. That's basically what we're doing. A lot of people do stuff at the end of the year. We choose to wait until January. And John Kirby saying he didn't like the Slammies. He said they were a snooze fest for him. I disagree. I thought the opening was really, really cool. Michael not happy that Taker winning twice and Fiend winning nothing. He's angry that his Fiend character didn't win anything. There's always people that are going to feel like they got snubbed. Happens at the Oscars every year. Who did you think got snubbed? Who do you think that deserved it? Let me know in the comments below. We're going to get to a story here in just a second about CM Punk potentially buying a wrestling promotion, a prominent wrestling promotion. We'll do it. But I do have to get my plug in. Is it okay if I get my plug in? I'm going to be part of some very, very cool stuff tonight for 101 WKQX, one of the biggest rock radio stations in the nation. Tonight, we will be streaming to you worldwide through 101WKQX.com, 1750. You put your money down, you're getting quite the event from us. Some of the biggest acts in alternative music with us tonight. It is the virtual Night We Stole Christmas concert. You can get your ticket through 101WKQX.com. That is 101WKQX.com. We're going to have Glass Animals, Wallows, and Cold War Kids, plus one of the biggest singers in the world, Billie Eilish, is going to be with us, along with certified to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Foo Fighters, as their special guests. So Glass Animals, Wallows, Cold War Kids, plus special guest Billie Eilish and the Foo Fighters, all for just $17.50. A bunch of fun holiday weirdness mixed in there as well. It isn't just people in their living rooms. We've done a lot of production on this. It looks very, very cool. I will also be on air tonight for 101 WKQX, which you can stream anywhere in the world on iHeartRadio, your smart speakers, any of that good stuff. But go to our website, 101WKQX.com. A huge concert event, the perfect thing to put on to make it feel eventful as you do your rapping. This is rapping day, not like me spitting bars. No, like me, wrapping up toys. Okay, so we will be doing that tonight, 101WKQX.com. 101WKQX.com. That's right. I said it how many times? Maybe too many times. Let's get into the CM Punk story. CM Punk, obviously a huge superstar in his own right, probably one of the bigger superstars of the past decade here. And in the middle of his WWE run, actually nearing what would be the end of what would be his first contract, maybe his first or second contract with WWE. In 2010, he almost bought Ring of Honor, or at least looked at the idea of it. He didn't actually sit down and talk to them, but he looked into the idea of it. On the Ring of Honor Strong podcast, former ROH owner Kerry Silkin wonderful man. I've been able to speak with Kerry multiple times over the years. Claims that there were two, quote, rinky-dink offers to purchase the company, Ring of Honor. One came from TNA co-founder Jerry Jarrett in 2007, but there was never any serious negotiations. The other came in 2010 out of the blue via text from CM Punk. He says, I've hustled tickets on the street and have made somewhat successful business. I don't think text messaging is the way to approach sales of companies. The first text message might be like, I'd like to talk to you about something. Those are my only two real offers. And they weren't real. So he at least looked into the idea. It's worth noting at this time, Punk was in the midst of his straight edge society angle throughout most of 2010. He would wrestle Rey Mysterio on the WrestleMania that year, and then he would go on to form the New Nexus group. That would then parlay into the Summer of Punk, the second one in the eyes of many fans, and Money in the Bank 2011, a big angle. Now, obviously, his time with WWE would end somewhat controversially, and there was the lawsuit from a WWE doctor and all these different things, and then Punk went into MMA. Now has an acting career, so he certainly has moved on from wrestling. But it was interesting, in the thick of his WWE career, he almost bought them. It's certainly interesting when you think that many fans have said, why hasn't CM Punk joined AEW? Many other things. So he's gone on the record saying it would take a whole lot for him to come back to wrestling in some form or another. So he hasn't written it off, but it'd have to be the right thing. So there we go. That's the latest on whether or not CM Punk's going to do the thing I want him to do. People ask us all the time, is he going to come back? Is he going to come back? So what do you think of that story? What would you think if CM Punk bought Ring of Honor? That'd be crazy if he actually did that. And yeah, so this question's happening. Do I ever think CM Punk will ever return? Like, as I just said a second ago, Nassim, I think there's always a possibility. I wouldn't rule it out. I don't speak for him. I'm from Chicago. CM Punk live at Money in the Bank 2011 is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in wrestling. I don't think that will ever be topped for me in terms of wrestling moments. And I've been to All In. I've been to WrestleManias. In terms of just moments as a fan, seeing things, that's one of the top things I've ever seen, is a crowd reacting to something like that. And he's a guy who taps into that energy, and he's so provocative. If he came back, I do feel it would be a needle mover wherever he came back. I think whether or not he'll return, very big question. Where he would return, an even bigger question. Did AEW try and make an approach to get him? I believe they have. What type of deal that was? Was it through text messaging? There's a lot of different mixed stories about that. But it would take a whole lot, as he said, a whole lot of money to get him to come back, and a whole lot of the right storyline and the right circumstances for him to do it. I don't think he's a guy who's going to come back when there is no fans. So maybe not in any time future, maybe a majority of 2021 when you really look at it. And at the same time, you could say, is he a guy who's going to come back then and take the spot of somebody in the current time frame of wrestling at the moment? He could. And is that something that's counteractive to him? I don't know. I think him coming back and being a Brock Lesnar type feature player is not a bad thing, and it would be a huge shot in the arm for any company they could be in there with. It's interesting that he would almost buy Ring of Honor. He's so tied to Ring of Honor, by the way. If you've never seen CM Punk in Ring of Honor, seek it out. Some fantastic stuff. The first match I would suggest you go check out is CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. I was at this match, I want to say in 03 or 04, another one in Chicago, and it was absolutely fantastic. Just a complete work of art. And they go, I think nearly an hour, and it was just brutal stuff. And it was very, very cool, and I highly suggest you seek it out. I won't spoil the ending if you haven't seen it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. All right, that's all you have to do. All right, I can see how many people are watching it. And I think if each one of you gave us a like, that'd be really, really cool. All right. And if you haven't done it already, do it again. If you have done it, do it again. Check out all the things we have going on in the WrestleZone podcast feed. Thank you to people in Egypt putting us in the top 10 on the Apple Sports podcast chart. Thank you so much. We are available on Spotify as well. Hours and hours of audio for you every week. On the podcast feed, we are dropping our upcoming Santa with Muscles watch along. We've already done it for the video viewers. You guys can watch it on YouTube and Facebook. But for our audio people, we're dropping that on Christmas Eve. So you'll be able to watch Santa with Muscles for free on Vudu. It's free. It's legal. None of that weird websites you think are just going to hack into your checking account or anything. No. It's with Vudu, VUDU. Search Santa with Muscles, and you can watch it with ads, just like you would on Hulu or anything like that. And you watch the movie, and we riff along to the movie with me and comedian Adam Quaslow. So that audio dropping in the podcast feed here on the 24th of December, also available as its own video audio feed on YouTube and Facebook right now. Plenty of news at WrestleZone.com. Make sure you're there refreshing all day long, getting everything that we have. A lot of great content from us. Thank you guys so much for supporting everything we do at WrestleZone. We hope you have a happy, safe holiday. Do everything you can to be safe. We want to see you at the matches when we can be back at the matches. Thank you so much for supporting everything we do. And remember, when watching wrestling, please enjoy wrestling.